A new report says Iran has restored parts of its missile infrastructure despite months of US and Israeli strikes. Analysts say Iran's missile recovery has progressed faster than many in Washington had anticipated, according to recent assessments. Satellite imagery and intelligence assessments indicate activity has resumed at several Iranian missile facilities damaged in earlier attacks. Recent assessments suggest Iran's missile network remains operational, raising fresh questions about the long-term impact of US and Israeli strikes. Iran has reportedly rebuilt parts of its missile capabilities after US and Israeli strikes, according to the Wall Street Journal. Analysts said satellite imagery showed activity resuming at several underground missile sites that were targeted during the conflict. The report said Tehran has restored operations at selected missile facilities struck earlier in the war. The Wall Street Journal also reported that Iran has continued launching missiles and drones against US forces and regional allies. The assessment contrasts with earlier US claims that Iran's missile capabilities had been severely degraded by the strikes. President Donald Trump had previously said the US campaign significantly weakened Tehran's missile arsenal. The report said Iran's recovery efforts indicate that key elements of its missile program remain operational. Analysts concluded that Tehran retains the ability to rapidly regenerate critical missile infrastructure despite repeated attacks. Iran-US war tensions have exploded once again, as Mujtaba Khamenei's campaign of retaliation shows no signs of slowing down. Fresh explosions are now being reported from the backyard of America's Gulf allies, signaling that the conflict is spreading deeper across the region. Blasts echoed across Iraq as dramatic videos appeared to show aerial projectiles streaking through the skies over Erbil. Has Iran struck dangerously close to the US consulate in Iraq's Erbil? New reports are raising fresh questions about the expanding battlefield. Air raid sirens rang out across Manama as reports claimed an impact was recorded in the Bahraini capital, further intensifying regional alarm. The one Iranian campaign that military analysts warn could seriously undermine, and potentially collapse, US power projection in the Middle East is Operation Nasr, a sustained, multi-phase strike plan designed to cripple American command hubs, air bases, and critical infrastructure across the region. The storm no one saw coming is Phase 2 of Operation Nasr, a brutal new wave of missile and drone attacks that unleashes hell on US positions by zeroing in on radar, command centers, and high-value aircraft with far greater precision than before. They struck first, but now Iran's Operation Nasr is attempting to deliver the final blow, turning what began as retaliation into a calculated campaign aimed at grinding down US capabilities and forcing Washington to rethink the cost of staying in the region. What the Pentagon doesn't want you to know about Iran's Operation Nasr is how systematically it targets the backbone of American power: communications, surveillance, air defense, and logistics nodes, so that even limited strikes can have outsized, cascading effects on the entire US warfighting network. Iran's liquid and solid fuel missiles are now raining down on US forces, combining older, proven systems with newer precision weapons in coordinated salvos that test defenses, exhaust interceptors, and keep troops under constant psychological and physical pressure. In a coordinated revenge strike, Iran has hit key radar sites, damaged or threatened F-15 operations, and killed US troops, sending a grim message that every radar dish, fighter shelter, and barracks in the region could become a target in this expanding confrontation. Phase 2 of Iran's Nasr operation is now underway, and Tehran is drawing on a broad mix of weaponry at its disposal, combining different missile classes and drones to sustain pressure on US targets and complicate American defensive planning. Solid fuel, liquid fuel, and cruise missiles are all being deployed by Iran against American positions, allowing the IRGC to launch rapid response salvos, longer-range strikes, and low-flying, radar-evading attacks in a single coordinated wave. Operation Nasr is essentially a missile and drone campaign focused on US military facilities, aiming to damage command nodes, logistics hubs, aircraft shelters, and support infrastructure rather than just delivering symbolic blows. US infrastructure across the Gulf, including bases and support sites in Bahrain, Kuwait, and Qatar, is being targeted by Tehran, signaling that Iran intends to challenge Washington's entire forward footprint rather than confining its response to a single country. According to Iranian state media outlet Press TV, these strikes are framed as retaliation for sustained US attacks on Iran, with officials portraying the campaign as a measured but escalating response to American pressure. The IRGC has claimed it dealt a crushing blow to the United States by hitting radars and missile defense systems, arguing that by degrading the sensors and shields that protect US forces, it can gradually erode Washington's ability to fight and deter in the region. Bahrain reportedly intercepted and destroyed several Iranian missiles on July 21st, with local media saying the defenses were activated to protect key sites as incoming threats were detected and engaged over the kingdom. Iran, for its part, said it attacked the US-linked Sheikh Isa military base in Bahrain on the morning of July 21st, claiming its missiles and drones struck facilities used by American forces stationed there. Bahrain's defense ministry responded by warning citizens to remain cautious and avoid approaching any strange or suspicious objects, stressing that unexploded debris or remnants from intercepted missiles could pose serious risks if handled. Amid these developments, Jordan announced it would continue closely monitoring its airspace after neutralizing a recent Iranian drone attack, underscoring how regional air defenses remain on high alert. Jordan's military said it intercepted 5 drones on the morning of July 21st, according to an update carried by Al Jazeera and other outlets, adding that the interceptions caused no casualties or damage on the ground. Notably, official casualty data indicate that 427 US service members have been injured in the Iran conflict since February 28, reflecting the cumulative toll of months of missile and drone strikes on American positions. The same tracking system counts 17 US troops killed in hostile and non-hostile incidents during this period, a figure that includes those recently killed in Jordan and Iraq as the confrontation has intensified.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest newsmakers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the US will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Have you ever wondered what happens when a banking dynasty meets tides of world history, intrigue, and a dash of myth?
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.